With NFL training camp less than a month away, people are really getting excited about what Shadeur Sanders is going to bring to this quarterback competition. And already it seems like he has made up massive ground working behind Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Dylan Gabriel. A lot of people assume that he could even be the day one starter. However, in my opinion, I think it will take some time for him to ultimately win that starting job from a Kenny Pickett and or a Dylan Gabriel. But at some point this season, I will predict that Shedeur Sanders will be the starting quarterback. And what tells me that is the work ethic. While we are, like I said, a month away out from training camp, everyone's, on vacation, taking some time off before the dog days of training camp, but not Shedeur Sanders. He's out here working every single day. A lot of people are saying, hey, every time he's working out, he's got this Browns helmet on. He's trying to get used to it. He's trying to really, feel what it's going to be like to be in that pocket during the preseason or training during training camp. When those pads come on, things should start to get exciting. Now, in this video, we are going to break down some of these training highlights, but ultimately, we have some more Shedeur Sanders news, and I feel like we need to break it down. I feel like we need to sit here every time there's more news on Shedeur Sanders. We need to talk about it, so that's what we're going to do in this video. Before we dive in, I want you to comment down below, do you think Shedeur Sanders is going to play well during preseason, or do you think it will take him a little bit of time to adjust? I do think there's a world where he is the day one starter, but I think he's got a lot of work to do for that to happen. I ultimately think they'll go Kenny Pickett or Joe Flacco, a veteran, and then by week 7, week 8, they'll probably go with one of the young guys. But this is his time to really showcase his ability to potentially be a starting quarterback in the NFL. How do you think he'll play during preseason and training camp? Now, before we talk a little bit about this new news going on right now, I do want to say that the only reason I believe Shedeur Sanders has a chance to be the starting quarterback is because of his pure accuracy of the quarterback. The ball placement is so elite that you just can't make it up, right? And I feel like a lot of people are really underestimating, not giving him credit because they're saying, hey, listen, he's only playing with the third team. He's only going up against the second team defense, right? And sure, that is an argument to make, but you still have to make the throws. You still have to put the ball into certain windows that only your receiver, only your tight end, or only your running back can get it. And he has done that consistently on those back shoulder corner fades. I mean, he had 2 beautiful balls on those ones. He had some tight windows over the middle for touchdowns. This dude has made some really good reads, and I don't think you can just say, yeah, it's because he's going at. No, you still have to make the read, you have to make the throw, and you have to make sure it's accurate. He's doing that. Now, during these little highlights here, I'm not sure who exactly he's throwing to, but I do know he's working with his quarterback coach that he's been working with for a really long time. I think he's starting to work on, again, just getting that ball out quick. He's still doing that tap thing, but I've noticed a lot of quarterbacks do it. It's not really that big of a deal. Another thing I'm looking at is the spiral, right? A lot of things, a lot of criticism that has been going on during the OTA rookie minicamp period is the ball doesn't come out as well as Dylan Gabriel's, right? And that's something that I believe Grossi said, Cleveland Browns reporter, and that is something that he took to the heart, right? He's trying to make sure that whenever he throws his football, man, it's going to be accurate, like he showed, but it's also going to look good, okay? Now, it does seem like it is working. Again, he is working with his quarterback coach, Daryl Colbert. It's this guy right here. He also works with Cam Ward that I know of right now, probably another couple of guys in the league as well. But, again, they're working on it, trying to improve things, and it's all you want. While everyone else is, out there maybe on vacation or having fun before the start of training camp, he's out here just working, man. He's out here working. It is raining. Maybe you guys are going to say something like, oh, he's in Miami, right? Don't matter, man. He's out here. He's putting in the work with that Browns helmet on. The ball looked good, man. Viral. I don't know if these are his teammates. I doubt it. I doubt these are Cleveland Browns players, but it could be. And look at this pouring rain. Easily could have said, nah, let's take a little bit of break for, let it clear up a little bit. No, he's out here grinding, man. He's out here working. And before we get any further into this video, we do have some more news I want to mention. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you haven't already done so. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. It is free. It doesn't cost anything to join the family. And we will be covering Shadeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns throughout the entirety of this year's training camp period and the preseason as well. We're going to be breaking down all 22 coaches' film for Shadeur Sanders and the offense, the defense, everybody. We got you guys covered. Join the family if you haven't already done so. And with that being said, let's kind of dive back into a little bit more of the footage here from this little training session. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are from it. Do you think it means anything, or do you think this is just, you know, him trying to get some attention from the media once again? Let me know what you guys think about that. Here's a little bit of news right here. I want to read this for you guys. Even though Gabriel was drafted ahead of Sanders, it was the Colorado football star who received the bulk of attention during team's minicamp in June, and that is completely true. He looked better. Fans and insiders alike remained unsure about how and why Sanders fell in the NFL draft, given all the stories leading up to and during the draft about Sanders' attitude. Okay, this is one thing I want to show you: attitude. It's likely that that will continue to be the case when training camp begins. People are going to come at his attitude, okay? We'll talk about that in a minute. The anonymous scout echoed much of what had been speculated about Sanders. Shadeur Sanders, and this is a quote, by the way, from the scout, I believe. Shadeur Sanders is a very polarizing guy. We didn't like his attitude and how he handled the draft process. He wasn't prepared. He mailed it in at every step, and he didn't take it seriously enough. Now, this is crazy to me because, you know, there are some situations in different sports where maybe a player just doesn't want to play for you, or maybe he just had his mind set on another football team. I don't know what the case was or what had happened, and maybe it is true. Maybe he didn't take it seriously. Maybe he wasn't prepared. I mean, that's a big situation. Either way, right now, it looks like the Browns are going to steal in a football player. If he figures out that he doesn't have it all, or if he figures out that he doesn't have it all figured out and applies himself, I can still see him having success. He said he's got a lot of tools. He's just not a great athlete, and he has to cut out some of the bad habits as far as taking sacks, staring down reads, and patting the football excessively. Now, what's funny, July 18th, it's a big day. It's a big day, July 18th. So we're going to have a lot to look at. But take a listen to this. A lot of people also wanted to say he's very cocky in his interviews, right? He spends a lot of time bragging and just being overly confident. Listen to this.
Overall, it's a mentality. It's mental. It's a lot of people in certain situations in their own life, you know, that may not be at the forefront, that maybe had that at one point in time, but you got to know it's going to be bright days eventually. Whenever the time comes. So you just always got to be prepared, and you got to mentally take it as just an experience, you know. And anything in life, you got to go through different things so you can understand the message that, you know, God's trying to give you. So that's why everything I'm way more grateful for, just to come out here, to be able to throw the ball around and just be able to get on the field. Like, everything off the field, it is what it is, but everybody know when it's time to get on that grass, then you know who I am. My goal is to be the best teammate and to be as polished as I can be. So in every aspect, I view things as I got time. I got time to be able to grow and mature, you know, and be able to understand the ins and outs of the defenses and be able to get the good insight from the vets in the room. So I look at it as, you know, a plus. Like, I got time to actually be able to really have a great understanding, and whenever, you know, it's time for me to play, then it's time for me to play. But I'm not looking too far in the future about all that. I'm looking about every day in practice, because I had some misses out there today that, you know, we got to go in there and correct, about Reed's getting in and out drops a little bit faster from under center. So that's the main thing. I'm focused on the small things, and over time the big things will happen.